All right, Facebook clearly under fire for the way it mishandled user data. Josh Hawley is with us, Missouri's Attorney General. Mr. Attorney General, I know that you signed that letter, 37 AGs going after Facebook, but you're also investigating Google. What did Google do wrong?
Well, I want to know, Stuart, what exactly Google is collecting, what sort of information it's collecting on consumers. What is it doing with that information? Is it using its market power to box out competitors from the market? Is it taking data from competitors and using it for its own advantage? And is it engaging in antitrust violations? So we've issued subpoenas to Google. I've issued a subpoena to Facebook. And I want to get the facts and get to the bottom of what's going on.
Where are you taking this? I mean, I know you're just asking questions, you're looking for answers, but in a roundabout way, are you going after them for antitrust? Or do you want some new form of regulation on them as to what they can do with the information and who they can sell it to? Where are you actually going with this?
Well, Missouri's law protects against antitrust violations. It protects consumer privacy and the use of confidential information. So our subpoenas have issued under those authorities. I want to know, is Google engaging in an antitrust violation by using its market power and its market platform to privilege its own products to the detriment of others? But I also want to know, and this is key, and it relates to Facebook, I want to know what these companies are doing with the private, personal information that they collect from consumers. Do consumers know what information these companies are collecting on them, and do they know what these companies are doing with it?
You're really questioning the whole business model of social networks. Great free service in return for them getting your information and selling it. You're questioning the business model.
Well, I'm questioning whether or not consumers have actually consented to the collection of all this data and whether they've consented to it being released. It's one thing to gather the information and to sell it or make it available if consumers are aware of what you're doing and if consumers have truly consented. So my question is, have consumers consented? Do they know? Have they signed off? Have they given permission? It's a very key set of questions, and we want the facts.
Okay. Now, you're in Missouri. You're running for the Senate seat, currently held by Claire McCaskill, a Democrat. She is assumed to be vulnerable because Missouri is a Trump country. You're a Trump backer. What's your main line of attack against Senator McCaskill?
Well, Senator McCaskill is part of the Washington establishment that has failed my state for decades now. She's been in politics for a lifetime. Here in Missouri, we've got health care costs that are out of control. We've got wages that are flat. We've got education that is so expensive you can't pay for it with a second mortgage. Claire McCaskill has been there forever. She hasn't done anything to make anything better for our families and our workers. It's time for change.
The early polls suggest what?
Well, they suggest that Senator McCaskill, people do not approve of the job that she's doing and that Missourians want a change in Washington. Missourians are fed up with the status quo in Washington, D.C., and they should be. They deserve to be, and that's why it's time to make a change. It's time for somebody who'll fight for Missouri.
So, forgive me, but I'm going to ask what might sound like a flippant question, but I was born and raised in England. I've got a British accent, and I don't know how to pronounce your state's name. Is it Missouri or is it Missouri?
I think it's user's choice, Stuart. I say Missouri. I'm from rural Missouri. That's what I grew up saying, so I'm sticking with it.
Missouri, right? Missouri.
Missouri.
It sounds okay when I say it. Okay. Josh Hawley, thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Attorney General, and please see us again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.